in the recording. Okay, so taking a look at the calendar, we have ski trips coming up on the 9th, 16th, 21st, and 30th, as well as February 6th. So that is 5 ski trips in total in which you can go to either or all of them. Okay? Tyler, do you have a question? Yo, you can't log in? Okay. Just for information, these red circles here are letting you know that on the 10th of this week, so that's Friday of this week, if you have semester 1 courses, all of your assignments need to be submitted before that date in order to be eligible to actually finish the course. And the 17th is the date in which you have to have all of your assignments in for other courses, like Phys Ed, except ours is full year, comm, art, languages, etc. So our first trip will be the 9th, and we will talk about that in detail in a bit. In February coming up, we have a couple of Zumba classes. They'll be half an hour each on a Tuesday. In March, we will have inline skating or rollerblading available to you as an activity. So that's some stuff that's coming up. And we will also have a first aid class available so that you can get your emergency first aid if that's something that you're interested in. Since it's been pretty darn cold and snowy this winter, I thought it was important for us to go over dressing for the weather. I know that we all grew up here, but it's important that you dress warmly, and denim or jeans is strongly discouraged in this kind of weather. There are 3 layers to consider. Your first layer, which is the closest one to your body, is called your base layer. This will keep you dry. So it's important that it's something that will wick sweat away from your body, because if you're moist or wet, that means that you'll cool faster. Water will actually pull the heat away from your body. So silk and fast-drying synthetic fibers are best. Second layer is your insulating layer. This will keep you warm. And so this is something that should be loose-fitting. Fleece is really good for that. And your third layer is your outer shell, and this is windproof or waterproof. Snow pants are strongly recommended, so this is especially for your ski trip. I think that if you are not dressed properly for the weather for the ski trip, I will have discretion, and Michelle will as well, to prevent you from going, because I do not want you out on the hill if you're not properly dressed. Okay? Pardon? I think that it's pretty easy to tell when someone's not dressed for the weather. Like, it's, yeah. It depends on your lesson. Okay, and we'll talk about that. So it's important to layer and not just have one huge bulky layer, because the temperature may change over the day. We're very dry in Edmonton. Sometimes it starts at -30 and then goes up to -5. So if you're dressed in the morning for -30 and then it goes up to -5 by the afternoon, you are going to be miserable because you're going to be hot and sweaty, and there's nothing you can do except take off one jacket, and then you're too cold. So it's important to layer. You must have mittens or gloves, okay? You will not be allowed to ski or snowboard without gloves or mittens. You don't need a toque per se, because you're wearing a helmet, and you have to wear a helmet. Yeah. Not during school hours. During school hours, they will not allow you to go on without a helmet. Just as a note, I'm not going to say that this is necessary, but don't wear ankle socks, okay? Please wear long socks or snowboarding or ski socks, and the reason why you don't want to wear ankle socks is if they crawl over your heel into the middle part of your foot, you have to take your whole boot off to pull your sock up. Okay, if you have a long sock, you can keep your boot on and pull your sock up. It's the most annoying thing to wear ankle socks and feel them bunching up in the middle of your foot, and you have to take your whole boot off to fix that. So it's an annoyance more than anything. And also wear like cotton socks as opposed to wool, because if your feet get sweaty, you're more likely to blister and just be uncomfortable. And they suggest to bring an extra pair just in case your first pair gets wet. Because if it's really warm and the ski slopes are a little slushy, you may get wet feet, and it sucks when your feet are wet. Okay, so information about the ski trip. For those of you in Phys Ed, it is a new skill or activity that you can add to your activity log. It is an individual activity, so it's something that you can add to that. We will be going to Snow Valley. That is under the Rainbow Valley Bridge, sort of South Edmonton. The address is here if you don't know where it is. And we will begin lessons at 9:30. But I suggest that if you are renting equipment, okay, so if you need equipment from Snow Valley, you show up at 9 so that we're the first ones to get into lessons. They provide lessons every hour from 9:30. So they'll have lessons at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, etc. until I believe 12:30 to 1:30 is their last lesson. The kicker here is that if you don't make it into the first lesson, you don't get access to the entire hill unless your parents have given you permission for access to the entire hill. Your instructor for your lesson, whether it be ski or snowboard, and you can choose which level of lesson you get, right? Because if you know you're a beginner and you want a beginner lesson, then you choose that. If you know you're advanced and you want an advanced lesson, maybe your instructor will teach you how to do jumps or half pipe, or I don't really know if they have, do they have a half pipe? So, no, they just have a jump, right? So that if you want that advanced level of lesson, you can choose that, and you can learn different skills. You can also choose to do a lower level lesson first and then do a higher level lesson the second time. And do you know what I mean? Like go 9:30, 10:30, 11:30 and do lessons your whole first day, and then you don't really have to do lessons the next times you go if you want that. Okay? But they will basically mark your lift pass, which with all of the hills that they permit you to go on. It's like when you were young and you had to swim a lane to prove to lifeguards that you could go to the deep end. It's kind of like that. So the only difference between what's on our itinerary and what will actually happen is supervision will end at 1:30, not 12:30. Okay, this means that if you are interested in staying for the rest of the day because your lift pass is good for the rest of the day, you need parental permission, a parent or guardian permission. Okay, so they need to sign a sheet with us that morning that you are allowed to stay, and they are responsible for you after 1:30. We are not responsible for you after 1:30. This has to happen every trip that you come on with us. Okay, so just because your parents sign off for one Thursday doesn't mean that they've signed off for all of the Thursdays. Okay, so they need to sign off for every Thursday that you come with us, that you are allowed to stay after 1:30 to whatever time. Yeah, because the ski hill is open till 9. There will be no official transportation available for the ski trip. Michelle, however, will, if you talk to her, you do have to get here at 8 though. She will bring students from three students from the school to the ski hill, but you have to be here at 8. And there are a couple students who have already expressed interest in that, but haven't solidified plans with Michelle. Yes. So otherwise, you need to find your own transportation there. By that, your parents need to drop you off, especially if you want to stay after 1:30, because they need to sign that sheet of paper, right? Yeah. Yeah. So Michelle just said they need to pick you up, or you need to find a way home on your own because there's no transportation available home. Okay, so while we chitty-chat in the background, if you're interested, please sign up here. So Michelle said, when you have a greater variety of activities on your activity log, you do better in the course. So there's a lot of people in class, but not online. Okay. Okay, so the way that you get your permission slip, fellas and lady, the way you get your permission slip is you go onto Parents Corner. Everyone knows how to do that? Okay, well your mom or dad or guardian needs to sign in. You will go, Tyler, if you have something to say, either talk on the, or, thanks. So your parents can sign on to the parent corner and go to the event scheduler. The only issue is you need to make sure you're signing into the right section because there's skiing, snowboarding, or there's 3 different sections. I will talk about that. There's 3 different sections. There is I need rentals for skis, a ski pass and lessons. I need rentals for a snowboard, ski pass and lessons, or I have my own equipment, I just need a ski pass and lessons, or I have a season's pass, I just need lessons. Notice how you will always be paying for lessons. You cannot opt out of a lesson, okay? Whether you choose to go to your lesson or not, because this is up to your parent to sign you off and say, no, I know my child knows how to ski or snowboard, they do not need lessons. Sure, your parents can sign off on that so you can have free time. However, you are still paying for the lesson. Got that? Yeah, and it's not all beginner lessons. You have the opportunity to do intermediate and advanced lessons as well. Okay, so cost, because that was something that all of you were very interested in. Is this really just Justin is interested in the ski snowboard trip? Oh, you use the A? You use the A here, and then click and just start typing. Okay, so for those of you who have your own equipment, it is $22 if you need a lift pass. Okay, that is per trip. But that, remember, is all the way until 9 o'clock if your parents sign off. So you're basically there for 12 hours if your parents sign off for that, right? If your parents do not sign off, you need to go when we go. You need to figure out a way home. Is there anyone here who has a season's pass? Okay, if you have a season's pass, it's $17. Okay? If you need snowboard rentals, it's $35 for snowboard rental, lift pass, and lessons. And if you need ski rentals, it's $32 for ski rentals, pass, and lessons. Why? If you go for the, yeah. So on Parents Corner, they do not give you a breakdown of the individual costs, okay? They're adding up all 5 trips. And if you're not going to all 5 trips, divide that by 5 and then just add up the trips that you are going to, right? In the end, you will pay for what you went to. Yeah. You need permission. No. You need permission. Yeah. Right. But during the morning hours, it's only open to schools. Any more questions? Because I did ask that question. I said, well, can't they just go? But no, not during the hours in which schools are allowed. Because that's just the way they run things. Because it's only, otherwise the ski hill will be overcrowded. And they only allow certain numbers of students from certain schools so that they know that their ski hill doesn't get overcrowded, right? Because they think they can have up to 160 riders at once during the day. That seems, do you know how small Snow Valley is? With 160 riders? Probably their limit is due to the lessons, I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay. I do believe that lunch is available there. You can buy lunch in the chalet. Lunch will be from 11:30 to 12:30. The last lesson will be from 12:30 to 1:30 if you so choose to be at that one. And again, all of the supervision will be gone at 1:30. So if you want to stay longer, you need to have your parents sign. Why? Because they need to know that we are leaving, and if you get injured, it is not a school issue. Okay, so the school is no longer responsible for you after 1:30, and they need to sign off saying they understand that the school is no longer responsible for you after 1:30. Okay? All right, so February. We've got an instructor coming in from Zumba Fitness on the 25th of February and the 4th of March for half an hour. So for those of you who typically come for on-site activities on Tuesday, this will be during that time. It will be Tuesday, February 25th and Tuesday, March 4th from 12:15 to 12:45. So, Arkham, did you write that? Okay. Zumba Fitness is like an aerobics class. Okay, so Zumba is a fitness class that's similar to an aerobics class, so it gets your heart rate up very high and it gets your sweat on, okay? It is set to salsa music, like Latin music. However, it doesn't mean, like, don't think of it as dancing. It's a fitness class where you are doing aerobics. Pardon? Probably 0. I don't know very many Latinos in our class. So it's okay, get your groove on for half an hour. This will add to your activity log as well. You can either choose to put it under individual activities or dance, but not both. Got it? So that's 2 days, February 25th and March 4th. If you're interested, you can sign up here. There's no cost associated with this. It is just available to you. Alright, so earlier today I asked you to open up your planning logs. If you can make sure to update your planning log for Phys Ed up to the end of semester 1. Okay? So Justin, this is probably, you know, something you don't have to be here for anymore. But for your Phys Ed planning logs, make sure that's updated to the end of semester 1. Got it? That is homework. That's, yes. Okay, so Michelle says it needs to be updated by January 17th. If it is not updated by January 17th, you will not get a mark. You will get an incomplete, and that looks very bad. So please make sure that your planning log is updated by January 17th, as well as your activity log. If you are coming skiing or snowboarding on whichever date, please put that into your planning log and then add it to your activity log when it happens. That is how we do our planning and activity. Any questions? Okay, so you can go do your on-site activities.